ratios are really close with this transmission. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're gonna be going over a 2021 Ford Explorer Limited with the hybrid powertrain. But first and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to Ed Kenley Ford for giving me some time with this Explorer. Check out their inventory on the link below. Let's get straight into the video. The hood of the hybrid Explorer, we have a 3.3 liter V6 as paired to a hybrid system and a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 23 around town and then 26 on the highway, with power outputs being 318 horsepower and then 322 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the hybrid Explorer. So first off, you guys can see that nothing's really changed. You get the same hood as you get on any other Explorer. You still get the LED accent lights with the full LED headlights, fog lights just down below, and then you still get the gigantic front grille with the little Ford logo on the camera down below that as well. Parking sensors here on the bottom, and then notice that you've got little skid plate action happening there, which looks pretty neat. But yeah, overall, you still get a normal looking Explorer, so nothing's changed from that perspective. Coming on the side here, we've got two 55mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then notice they've kind of gone for like the basic chrome design there with the wheels. But something that's pretty cool is you actually have the Explorer logo right there on the side of the headlight. And you got the plastic molding all around that goes actually all the way down the side of the Explorer to the rear. And then notice how they've blacked out the side mirror there, and you do have the crossbars there at the top of the Explorer. But there's your full side view on the hybrid. Oh, it's a hybrid. Let's actually head into the rear of the Explorer. So you can see that the storage space back here is pretty much unchanged. You still get the storage there on the sides. You can still pick this up and have some extra storage right in that little area. And then you still get all the stuff with the seats, so you can raise and lower the seats with that. And then you get a little 12 volts by them. And yeah, I mean, everything is the same back here with the third row and with this whole area, so you don't really give up anything by going to the hybrid. Now let's go over the rest of the rear of the Explorer hybrid. So you've got the full LED lights here that are a signature of the Explorer. And actually you do get a little hybrid badge there at the bottom. And then you still get the dual exhaust tips with the receiver hitch just down below in that little area. And then you've got the parking sensors on the rear as well. But again, you can't really tell it's a hybrid other than the badge in the back. It looks just like any other Explorer. Go over the rest of the door panel here on the back of the Explorer. So you can see that we've got all the soft touch all along the door panel itself with a nice stitching, and you get a little sunshade here for the back passengers. And then you can see the rest of the materials there on the door, pretty nice looking. And then here are the seats in the back. So you've got, again, the nice soft touch with the perforations there in the center portion of the seats. Got a bunch of adjustments there on the seats, but let's actually pop in. So stepping in, step in height's not too bad at all. If you guys are wondering, I'm 5'11". If I sit all the way up, still got some headroom. And then in terms of legroom, that's pretty solid as well. And then you can see we've got a couple of controls here for the climate system in the rear, heated seats, and then you got a little area where you can charge some stuff. A couple cup holders, and then we do have the third row, and well, yeah, I'll torture myself for you guys. Okay, so it's kind of difficult to squeeze back there. But once I'm back here, if I sit all the way up, I actually have some headroom, which is pretty interesting. Legroom, not so much, but I fit back here, so like, if I do this, then it kind of works out. And this is the back of the Explorer, and wish me luck getting back out. Here's the door panel on the front of the Explorer. So again, you've got all that really nice soft touch here, and then you can see you've got a little door handle, which looks pretty interesting. You got your memory seat controls, and then your door lock and unlock controls, mirror controls and window controls, all that kind of stuff in that little area. And then the mirrors do have blind spot monitoring, and look at that, you can see a Shelby truck right there perfectly in the mirror. Anyways, we've got the seats right here, so you've got the full soft touch here with the perforations all throughout the seats themselves. Pretty soft to the touch. And then you've got your adjustments on the side of the seat. You've got a little Explorer plaque right there. And then here is the pedal layout just down below. We've got our light controls here in this little area. And then, by the way, you guys saw it's a double pull for the hood latch release. And then the steering wheel is automatically adjustable. There's one more look before we pop in. Here's the steering wheel on the hybrid. So you've got the soft touch with the darker stitching there on the center. We can see we've got the controls for the center screen, your voice command phone controls right there. We've got our volume controls over here with our adaptive cruise control and the lane keep assist. Little paddles on the back if you want to shift the gears yourself with that 10 speed. And then you do have a stock for the turn signal on that side. And then you've got the stock for the windshield wipers on the other side. And that's all for the steering wheel. We've got the center gauge cluster. It's kind of a mix between analog and then like a screen setup. So there's the two analog gauges on either side, and then there's that screen there in the center, which just gives you different bits of information on the Explorer. Nothing too crazy. You guys can see all the different menus that you can kind of scroll through on this. But we do have the drive mode select, which pops up in the screen too. So we've got the normal, and then on the one side we've got the eco, the sport, which makes things all aggressive. And notice that it popped the engine on, because it's in the sport mode. You're going to need all the power. And then you got the tow haul mode. But the one difference is, if you guys like have seen like the Explorer ST, for example, it changes like the whole gauge cluster setup, whereas since this still has the analog gauges, you get the animation there in the center for the different drive modes. But you do not get the actual like gauge cluster changing because, well, they're analog. Here's the center infotainment system. First off, if we pop it into reverse, the backup camera will pop up. There's trajectory lines, they turn with the steering wheel, and then you do get that bird's eye view, and then there's a couple different views, so you can do just back, and then yes, you can zoom in if you are hooking up to a trailer just to make it a little bit easier, and then you kind of get those little angles out there. So from a camera system perspective, it's pretty solid. Then if we go to the rest of the infotainment system, this is Ford's newer unit, so response time on it's really good. I love how you get the ambient lighting here in the Explorer. You can pick between a bunch of different colors. Since this is a hybrid, we should probably pick one of these blues, right? Because it'll kind of match the hybrid theme. But as for the rest of the infotainment system, it's just a good little system, and that's all for that. Quite a bit of stuff happening here. I really like the trim here at the top portion on that. Volume controls and radio controls on the other side. You got a little camera button, your hazard lights, and then that's for the parking sensors. Climate controls just down below. So remember, you got the climate zone for the rear, and then you've got two more for the front. Heated and ventilated seats here for the front passengers, and a little heated steering wheel on top of all that. And then if you press that, that pops up, and you can see you've got some USBs there. You got a little 12 volt as well, just a decent little storage area. And then when you're done with it, you're like, okay, see ya, and then it goes back into place. We've got a couple of cup holders here in this area. We've got the dial shifter for the transmission select, and then if you go in the manual mode, just press the M and it'll pop it into manual mode. Nothing too crazy with that. You've got your parking brake, and this is the auto hold, so that if you take your foot off the brake, it'll just hold the SUV in place. Got a drive mode select here, and then you can see you've got your traction control and then your hill descent control right next to that. Got a little center console here with the Explorer. You can see that opening it up, decent amount of little storage space in there, and then you have a little thread through for cables. And then in front of it, you've got the wireless phone charger. Again, really like that trim up there. And then opening up the glove box, pretty normal glove box, nothing crazy happening with that. And that's all for that area. Up top here, we've got a little sunglass holder, and then you get your light controls. No center for anything like that, just normal headliners, lighter in color, and I don't have anything else to say about the tops. Now that we're done going the interior on this Explorer Hybrid, let's quickly get into the pricing. So, in terms of pricing, this Explorer Hybrid stickers for about $53,000 before any type of market adjustment. That all being said, let's take this Explorer Hybrid out and see how she drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off here in this Explorer Hybrid. So you guys can see visibility over the hood is pretty decent. It's just a longer flat hood, so it does take a second to get used to, but it's pretty simple. And there's your visibility through both of the mirrors here in the Explorer Hybrid, and then here's all throughout the rest of the rear. So a bunch of relatively large square windows, so visibility is not really an issue. And that all being said, well, let's set off. So we are initially setting off here in the Explorer Hybrid, and I just wanted to show this initial part so you guys can kind of see how it performs just at like lower speeds, basically, with the torque and everything with the hybrid system. And then you've got the gas engine connected to that. It's actually a pretty seamless system in terms of it turning on and off. It just works really well. I don't know why I turned off my turn signal, guys. I don't know about that, but anyways, it feels like it handles just like any other Explorer. I don't really feel too much of a difference. The steering feels maybe like it's a little bit heavier in terms of the steering feel. Yeah, decent amount of torque, doing kind of like a very minor acceleration. I am going to pop it over into the sport mode now and over into the manual mode. Of course, it gives me a fuel warning the second I pop into sport mode, but we've got it in manual mode now. Gonna create a little bit of space, and those ratios are really close with this transmission. So that is very interesting. It's a decent amount of power. It's definitely not as quick as, I mean, the power figure suggests that, right? If you do an Explorer ST or like an Explorer Limited with the 3-liter twin turbo V6, this isn't as quick. And it really feels that way in highway speeds. In the low end, the electric motors make it feel a little bit, you know, quick. It feels pretty similar on the low end, but once you get up onto highway speeds, that's where you can really feel the power deficit compared to, again, an Explorer with the twin turbo 3-liter V6. Gear shifts do take a second when you downshift with this. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's not nearly as quick as what they've got like in the F-150s, for example. It doesn't feel as quick as the transmission in the regular Explorer. When I say regular, I'm talking about the 10-speed auto with the, again, 3-liter twin turbo V6. And not bad by any means, it just doesn't feel as quick. But I am going to take it out of the manual mode. I'll keep it in the sport mode, though, just so that when we get up here, we can get kind of like another minor-ish acceleration from a standstill so you guys can see the difference. Well, let's get a kind of like low-speed acceleration here. Yeah, this just doesn't feel as smooth as the regular Explorer. It's definitely a little bit less refined, if you ask me. And that'll actually get me into some of the things up with this hybrid Explorer. So I came into this just basically wanting to see what this is all about. I've never driven a hybrid Explorer, and I really wanted to see, you know, is this worth getting over the regular Explorer? And here's some things going against this. So first off, pricing. It's, you know, it's right in line with the other Explorers. It's not like crazy expensive compared to regular Explorer, so pricing is okay. But I mean, if you're buying a vehicle to save on fuel, you're usually buying a vehicle to save on money in general. So it would make more sense if this was less money so that you can save more money all around. And then in terms of the interior and exterior, it's the same as any other Explorer, so nothing's changed right there. Love how it says brake coach. It says I returned 93% of the energy through my braking. We're good to go. But then in terms of the performance on this, I'm a little bit disappointed, honestly. Like, it's good at low speeds, but once you get up to the higher speeds, it just doesn't really keep up with the regular Explorer. And so if I were in the market for an Explorer, I would just buy one with the regular 3-liter twin turbo V6. The fuel economy is not that different. It's a little bit better than this, but it's not a big difference. That engine's so much quicker. It's way more refined. The gear shifts are way smoother. It definitely feels more like a luxury vehicle than this. It's good for a hybrid, but it just doesn't have the same level of refinement. So yeah, my money is just going to go towards a regular Explorer. This isn't a bad vehicle by any means. It's got this giant shadow over it that is a twin turbo 3-liter V6. That's all I got to say. That is going to sum things up with our video on this 2021 Ford Explorer Limited with the hybrid system. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to Ed Kenley Ford for giving me some time with this Explorer. Check out the inventory in the link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.